what I'm really excited about is that we're going to have two just like really funny, charming faces here. The goal is like, how do we think about creativity in the times of where we need the most impact possible right now? And for me, I really thought about Chef P and Will Coleman Sweet, as super creators in the space that are really understanding what the digital futures are when it comes to communicating impact in food and creative ways to keep us engaged. And so when I talked to Danny and Bernie about finding ways to bring folks together, we said one, Vernell on our team was like, we need to dance, right? So we need to like bring people together, and that's coming up very shortly. But we also need to talk about the ways that we think about the changing landscape of media. Like we're here in a space that has been defunded and is at the forefront of media and like truth telling, but we also know that like the future of impact in supply chains and in the things that we consume every single day is through individual creators. And so I wanted to bring folks together that don't always get asked to these stages, but also I think are going to be at the future of transparency and communication when it comes to food and beverage and things like climate and just keeping us laughing and engaged. So I'm going to welcome them up here. They have hundreds of thousands of followers, millions of impressions every single day. And we're just going to talk a little bit about why it's important to build community around impact and why we need to collaborate between these spaces a little bit more. So I'm bringing them up here. Chef P, Chef Coleman, I think Sweet's still on his way. He's going to be showing up. And then we're just going to talk a little bit. They're going to introduce themselves, and we're going to talk a little bit about why it's so important to, I don't know where I'm supposed to be sitting. I'll sit right here. I'll sit right here. Yeah, I'll switch it over.
I'm not trying to go out Beyonce. I'm on y'all time.
All right, so I don't know if you follow these folks. You can follow them up there. I think they're on some of the smaller screens.
Okay.
We just pulled these from some of we had to screenshot reels because y'all don't have a lot of recent photo shoots. You don't really care. They just care about reels, right? That is the time. So, Will, can you tell us a little bit more about your platform as a chef, honestly, as a proprietor? I'm really happy with what I've seen over the past couple of years of you, like, creating methods to help people shop. And I'm going to let you go into that, but let's talk about that a little bit more.
Thank you so much. A pleasure to be here. Very inspired by the work that you're doing, so it's an honor to be on the stage. My name is Chef Will Coleman. I am a chef, content creator, TV personality, and overall just obsessed with people, food, getting community together. And I just love business and making a way to have generational impact through financial literacy and just creating really cool things that are going to last beyond my presence here on Earth.
Tell it. I'll ask you in a little bit about your method that you're copywriting, but we'll get back to it. I appreciate that. Chef P, how's it going? And actually, I'm going to just say quickly that I saw some of the funniest videos of maybe the past 8 months. I was like, I need to follow this person. It wasn't even food videos, but then when I saw the food videos, I'm like, there's something here. There's something here that, like, you have a nutrition, like, why are people eating healthy video that I think is hilarious. I wish we could play it right now, but please go find that on your page. But welcome to New York. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Yeah. This has been surprising for a country girl like myself, But I've been enjoying it. My name is Chef Flavor P. I am a TV chef. I am an executive chef. I'm a rapper. I'm a painter. And a year and a half ago, I became a comedian. So, yeah. And, I just, I love to use my wild imagination. One thing that I do and what I get a lot of recognition for is I paint edible canvases and I plate my food on top of them. And so once the catering or whatever the event is for, once everybody's consumed everything, I preserve it, and then I turn it into a art collectible that people buy. And, just really I like the term culinary artist because that's me for real. And, I think that is also like the future of culinary. And I think that's me paying it forward. I have all the respect for all the fundamentals of culinary school. I went to culinary school. I want to go back to culinary school. I don't feel like I will reach like OG chef, stature until I go to culinary school in France and get a plate thrown at me. You feel like that, That's how I know I love it, to go through culinary school again, but that's what I want to do. But yeah, I love it, but that's what I do, and I make people laugh now. It makes me a lot of money, and it also feeds the soul, just like food.
Well, thank you for that. I want to ask, what's been like the funniest moment that really projected you all into understanding that you were not just chefs, but content creators?
I think funny. First of all, I'm obsessed. You're like a painter, a comedian, chef. Like, I feel like I needed to hear that as a child to like know that it's possible to do 1,001 things and make a nice bag off of it, feel happy off of it, and like ultimately create legacy. I think for me, the funniest thing that has led me to where I'm at is just like taking the leap to fully do the thing that I wanted to do. Like I went to culinary school as well, and when I would talk about the things I wanted to do, like go on TV, create content, do pop-up events, my instructors would be like, I think you should work in a restaurant. Or like,
Right.
That's not really it. But it's just, I love going back to those spaces to share my story now. And it's always great to see the people's faces like, oh, he did it. And like, I think that's pretty cool.
Right.
And I hope it inspires others to like, do the same.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
You did it, baby.
You did it too, baby.
All right. Same thing, when I go, I'm on the advisory board for the culinary school that I graduated from. And like my chef would tell me when she met me, I started culinary school when I was like 17. And I told her, I was like, I want to figure out a way how I can rap, I can cook, and I can do all of these things, a mission into one. And she said that she was like, I don't know how she's going to do all of this.
It sounds crazy, right?
And I'm doing
We're
all
crazy.
of it,
Crazy.
It is, but it's just like, when you have the passion for it. And that's why, when I'm talking to young culinarians and everything, like, I want to bring back the passion in food, like everything that everybody was talking about, especially, the sourcing of things and, how can we make, for one, the way to get people to be more sustainable and bring like the root of the richness that they were talking about here. Everything has to be trendy now. I'm sorry. The internet runs everything. It has to be those things. Unfortunately, sometimes, a lot of things that like go viral and things like that, they're not really good for us, but I mean, at the same time, like that's when you use your superpowers. Like, how can you make it funny? Then bring it into this and bring it into that. I know 2 skits that started my journey of going viral. One was being the horrible customer service giver at a restaurant, and then on the other one was.
And you're based in Atlanta, and Atlanta is known for.
Hello, it's a party thing now. Like, there are a couple guys. Shout out. It is a group of chefs that are like really doing farm to table things, like really like trying to push the culinary envelope. But like, what is the forefront? Grass wall, hookahs, Henny lamb chops, waffles, fruit. Yeah, like I'm not ashamed. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So.
Like culture moves the dollar,
Yeah.
But I'm glad you brought up the sustainability. I want to talk a little bit. It is Climate Week, New York. I want to talk a little bit about how you all infuse sustainability, whether it be from provenance and sourcing to just like maybe how you finish the meal. Like, where is sustainability for you, and how are you communicating that to your audience?
Yeah, so like I said, I'm really obsessed with food, people, all the things, and the process of it. And as a content creator, I'm always going between the balance of like what's on trend and also following my true passion, which is food and creating experiences. But sometimes those things don't resonate with algorithms.
Right.
And algorithms sometimes pay our bills, so it's like always that balance. But for me as a chef,
he gets it
at the forefront, sustainability is important because it shows up beyond just the farm to table sourcing. It shows up within like who you're working with, who you're booking spaces with, what kind of events you're doing, how are you being intentional about where you're showing up regarding seasonality. So sustainability is just a part of the foundation of the work that I do. When I think of an idea, sustainability is right behind it. So that I can be sure that I'm creating something that is on track with my passion, but also benefiting our environment and kind of not backtracking all the work that our ancestors have done and those also sitting beside us have done as well and are working towards, so that we can be working towards something that's beneficial to all of us, even if it is just a simple pop-up dinner. I want to be sure that I'm getting ingredients that are special and intentional, and also booking a space that's intentional and putting dollars in pockets of other creators and entrepreneurs. So sustainability goes beyond just the plate for me.
Yeah. What's resonated the most with your audiences in terms of sustainable, like intention, choices?
Yes. So
supply?
Sustainability is a choice that you have to make. And for me, I fell into the concept of grocery shopping, and I created a method called the 6-to-1 grocery shopping method, because grocery shopping is something that we all have to do no matter if you love cooking, hate cooking, you find yourself in a grocery store at least once a month. So I created a method which creates a foundation for seamless shopping that gives folks the tools to reduce food waste, reduce overspending, time in the grocery store, and really maximize how much food you're getting from your groceries. It's called the 6-to-1 grocery shopping method. You get 6 veggies, 5 fruits, 4 proteins, 3 starches, 2 sauces or spreads, and 1 fun item for each person in your family. And the promise is that you get at least 6 bountiful meals from that grocery cart. It's trademarked. Look it up. 6-to-1 grocery shopping method.
Yeah.
And
because some of your comments have gone viral when people try to do the like 5-to-1 method.
It's like, stop. That's trademarked too.
Okay.
But to put that all in a bow, like that's a sustainable method that I created to share with the masses, and also wrote a cookbook about it, and just creating a method that allows people to feel empowered in the kitchen and beyond.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I love that. I love that.
Chef Flavor P,
Thank you.
I want to talk a little bit more about your canvases, but also just like your messaging, right? You do a lot of beautiful scenes that are comedic, but you kind of walk people through grocery stores, take people into situations where they really feel seen. And so I want to think about and have you talk about some of those moments where you wanted to create with friends and like put that back out into the scenes. Because in some ways they're not just like funny selfies where you're recording your thoughts. You're like putting some production into some of these videos as well.
Back to my baby's point right here, you have to feed the algorithm if you want that money.
Yeah.
And I actually started as a TV chef. And like it was dope, and in the city, like they know Flavor P, but like as far as reaching those millions, it wasn't hitting it as much as it was telling these people jokes. And so when I started building my platform like that, and I'm like, okay, well then let me start throwing the food back into it. And then it's like, oh, you cook? And I'm like, no, yeah, duh, like I've been started, you know? So it's like, I really like to like educate people, like, but at the same time entertain them. So when I do my cooking shows and things like that, like I don't know how to cut my comedic side off. That's kind of just me. But I love like as a community. And like when we're talking about sustainability, that's what I do with my company. I am the regional chef of Snooze AM Eatery in Atlanta. And one of our core values is sustainability. But the way that we kind of like hide the veggies in there so the kids eat them, we use community, you know? So we go plant trees, we go, you know, plant fresh herbs and things like that, and like get everybody involved, and it becomes like a family thing. And like before you know it, we're not forcing sustainability, but we're naturally doing it and we feel good about it. And like that's with anything that I do. So like, you know, I think I did a cooking live not too long ago, and I was making East Atlanta oysters, which is my country version of Oyster Rockefeller, right? And I was shucking one of the oysters, and it was a pea crab in one of them. And I'm like, oh, okay. And he was so cute. He was a grower, not a shower, but he has so much personality. You feel what I'm saying? And like, it had my audiences gauged as well. And so like, you know, he kind of sat on one of my separate cutting boards while we, you know, went through the thing. But like, the crowd was just so interested as I was, and like we started researching him. I thought he was a parasite. Apparently he wasn't. It was okay for him to live in the oyster. The oyster wasn't tainted. He was actually known as a delicacy, you know what I'm saying, in the colonial times, okay? So, and it's just like, like it went from them just watching me, do my thing and going ooh and ah, but actually like being invested even more into what we were doing. And then so, they even tried to tell me like, Flavor, put them in some salt water into, because that's their environment. And like, I really thought that me and him had something strong that was finna happen. And by the time I got home, he got his nickname because he died. His name was Ceviche. I put too much salt in that water. So, I know, bruh. And so, yeah, he was a good man. You feel me? But, it was dope. And even after that, like that live just kept getting purpose. And people, they was like, how was the crab? And I'm like, he gone, baby. But, just so much of that mishap, like, got people like, who would think about pea crabs or where they came from? Or, most people see our food and just want to go, oh, like, that's like the problem. Like, sometimes, like, a lot of my food influencer people that used to get like millions of views, people just want to look at it. They don't really want to make the recipe. They just want to say, oh, and then, so to be able to get them to engage and like find the footprints of what they actually consume is dope. And, we do that.
I want to thank you for that. I love that story. I got to find that live. I want to talk a little bit more about the algorithm and like, I want to talk about the past, like over the past year, like what have you all seen shift? And then we're going to go a little bit into what you think companies here, entrepreneurs here, food leaders here should prepare for the next year or so. Okay. So let's start with what you've seen in shifts over the past year.
I will speak from like a storytelling perspective. Thrilled to hear what you have to say. For me, I think people are just getting incredibly more nosy. They want to like know exactly what you're doing, who you are, why you're doing it.
Right.
I think longer are the days where you can just like post pretty pictures of your food and yourself, and that's just enough. So I think that it drives me to be more transparent with my brand on social media, and it's just kind of weeding out those that don't love to share their personal anecdotes with the internet, and those who are actually invested with doing so. So I think algorithms are kind of rewarding those who are being more transparent with their like ethics and mindsets regarding their particular industries. Mine will be food.
And where do you think it's going to go?
I hope that it continues to be a more individualistic standpoint, like not so trendy, because I really do like thrive off of like just kind of like being myself and not like following specific trends that don't align with like who I am as a brand.
Thank you. Yes. To more niche and more individual focus, that's just like very raw and authentic. I love it.
Yeah.
What do you think? What's been a shift for you? What have you seen over the past year?
Definitely the things that were trendy or just like getting cliche, which I appreciate. I like in all my spaces, like hip hop, like it's only so much rap like you can take. I feel like we're getting to the point like you're gonna need something else. Like like even in the chef world, like it's only so much from. Like you're gonna need something else. And I feel like being transparent and being above the wave. Like first of all, having that eye and people wanting to be like, what you got going on? How you doing? You feel what I'm saying? I think that is leverage for being like, there is a new wave. Everything's going to have to change because everything is changing. Like, you can pinpoint where it's going, but like everything's shifting. And I feel like the future belongs to the people who put in the groundwork now and like set a great example and like really push who they are like relentlessly and show the world. Like I said, the things that I do for the painting is like painting canvases and stuff like that. I remember I'm a part of the chef network in Atlanta, and like all the celebrity, Lotto chef, like Diddy used to be chef, Kim Kardashian chef, like all of them, like they're out there, and like I'm a part of a big chef community, and I mean when I started painting canvases, and they were like, putting food on it, I was like, oh, she crazy. What's she doing? Now everybody like, oh my God, chef, you saw it through. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, just
Be
do
yourself.
you. But then what I love is when I go to these elementary schools and I go to these summer camps and these kids are like, whoa. And I'm like, yeah, this is for y'all. You know what I'm saying? This is for this generation. So just being authentic and like not trying to reinvent the wheel, but at the same time stand for something, but stand for something that's going to matter and that's going to be sustainable for the betterment of our culture,
Yeah. Thank you for that. Okay, one quick little dash of a question. I'm gonna say dash, so little chef on top right there. So
okay.
While the DJs, I hope they got a little bit more than a couple shrimps. I hope y'all are probably still hungry, but we're gonna dance. We're gonna dance it off. We're ready to just be honest and dance right. What's one ingredient? Just 30 seconds or less. One ingredient that captures your vibe right now.
I'm the whole fifth taste, okay? They call me umami mommy. You feel what I'm saying? So, like, you can't just sweet, salty, It's the whole palate. That's me.
A nice mushroom powder.
Hello. Hello.
Mushroom
What you
powder
want?
energy.
Go ahead, because we dashing.
Yeah. For me, I would say an onion. You can use an onion in 1,001 ways.
Hello.
And I'm in a season of my life where I'm embracing all the ways that I want to pursue food, pursue community. And I know that I would do it in a delicious, versatile way, just like the Allium family.
I love it. I love you too. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Please
Beautiful
follow
questions.
them. Please follow them. We're going to do, and again, I just want to thank all of the Food Tank team. I want to thank you all for showing up here. We're going to do like a 5-minute or less transition. We're going to actually start to move some of these chairs out the way so you guys can start dancing in this middle row. So all the little short chairs are going to be piled up. The DJs are going to start transitioning out here. I hope y'all can get some more drinks, a little bit more food. Thank you so much for coming, and let's meet, talk, and have a little dance. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.